Scramble of Africa. So can everybody say Scramble of Africa?
Scramble of Africa.
Okay, how many people have sweets? Oh, you don't have sweets? I go back with them, eh? So I have so many sweets here. But I'm not going to give each. It is for you to struggle for them, okay? So are you ready? Yes. Just stand. So try to get as many as you can, okay? Are you ready? There you go. Count the ones that you have gotten. If there's somebody who has gotten that, I didn't say you open the switch. I've only said count the number of switches you have gotten. Okay. 1. Two. There even no 2. 3. Good. Finally somebody has gotten more. Now what you have done, you have scrambled. You have done what? Scrambled. I have just given sweets and you have scrambled, meaning you are struggling to get them. You are struggling to get them. So scrambling means struggle to get something. So you are struggling to get something. Now let's come to what we are talking about. We are talking about Scramble in Africa. Now when the Europeans came, who?
The Europeans.
They wanted to get power in Africa. The Europeans. So when they came, they wanted to get some power in Africa. And because Africa was just a land which was just open, so it was just for no one. It was just a piece of nobody. Okay? Are we together? So this was our Africa. And then when they came, they wanted to get power. Each wanted. But because they had not certain agreed, they came at once and they started scrabbling. They started doing what? So they would struggle to get the power. So maybe the French would come and say, me, I want this side is mine. The British will come and say, okay, I also want this side. The Germans will say, I also want my part. So whoever takes, they took. Maybe the Spanish came and said, we also want our part. So at the end of the day, they were all struggling. They did not sit down and agree. So they struggled for their power. Now, why do you think they loved Africa so much to an extent of fighting for it or struggling for it? You can try and think. Why do you think they were struggling for that? Why do you think? Just have a thought. Frank?
To avoid the snow, their land to come and stay in
Maybe they got their land, there was a lot of snow, and maybe they looked in Africa and they were like, maybe we can stay there. That's a good trial. Who else wants to try? Yes, and?
They want to avoid the overpopulation.
That's a very good one. What he was trying to explain. Now they were trying to avoid overpopulation. So we can say reason for the Scramble. They wanted one to avoid overpopulation. That is to mean in their country, people had started becoming too many. And now they wanted to make sure that we reduce the population. So what do? We have to look for a place. For example, let's say our class. If we are full to an extent that we cannot be able to fit here, we have to look for a space, isn't it? Most likely we'll go and ask the class 6, can you give us a space because your class is a bit bigger. So to avoid overpopulation, they came to Africa and they were looking for space. What else did they do? What else made them think of coming to Africa? What do you think?
They wanted the mineral salts.
Aha. They thought, in fact, if you remember in class 6, you talked about explorers. Do you remember the explorers?
Yes.
For example, one of the explorers. Give us an example of an explorer. Yes, Frank?
Don't speak.
John Speak, was he an explorer? Yes. John Speak, before they scrambled, they had come to Africa, they had seen, oh, in Africa there are good minerals. So because we have industries in our country and we want these minerals to be processed, let's go to Africa. So they came again looking for
Raw materials.
They came looking for raw materials. What else? What else do you think could have been the reason? Could have been the reason, Abel?
They wanted slaves.
Do they want slaves? They want slaves? He has an idea. But not that they wanted slaves, they actually wanted to stop slave trade. Okay? So the main reason was to stop the slave trade. What else made them come to Africa? Jemima?
They wanted to start growing crops and other countries.
Hey, did you know that our Africa is very fertile? Onanga you assume it. It's very fertile. Look at our highlands. Look at Mount Kenya. We have very good highlands, isn't it? And therefore the explorers, when they came, they were like, So this country has very good fertile soil. And because we want to do farming, let's grab Africa and they scramble for it. So they were also looking for fertile
soil.
Remember, before the coming of you, people used to do traditional farming, isn't it? They will do shifting, they will be here, they will be there, and they never cared so much. But when the Europeans came, they realized, okay, this land is very fertile, we can do a lot of farming. We can do dairy farming also, we can do ranching. So they were looking for land and fertile soil for farming. Do you think the Africans were happy?
No.
Do you think the Africans were happy?
No.
Now supposing somebody came into this class this morning and start taking your desk, taking your chairs, how would you react? You will go and tell them, it's okay, just take them. Will you say that?
No.
What will you do? You will fight for it. So do you think the Africans were like, okay, you Europeans, the French, the Germans, just come and take whatever you want? Did they say like that? So even though these ones were coming with good reasons, like these, there were also bad reasons. Because they came and took the lands of the Africans. They also came and changed their culture. You know, they started spreading Christianity. They were also spreading Christianity. And therefore, the reaction of Africans. So we have said, what did they do when they realized that these people are taking their land? They reacted. What was their reaction? Baraka?
Some Africans chased some explorers and missionaries.
They will not chase them, or they will not even let them in their land. What else do you think they did? Let's think. Because I want to assume if somebody came to grab our desks here, we will not tell them, okay, you can take them and we'll even give you more. Is that what you will do? Yeah? Irene, will you tell the person who is taking your desk, you can even take the chair? What will you do? You will struggle to maintain that desk, isn't it? And so what do you think the Africans did? Yes, Stan. First of all, they started what we call fighting. They fought for the land. And they formed groups. And that's what we call resistance. That's what we call resistance. So they started resisting. somebody to come and take what you have, you will have to do what? To resist. They started resisting. What else do you think they did? Yes, they did.
Some people collaborated so that they could also have some part of the land so that the Europeans could not take the whole land.
Have you ever heard of that saying which says that if you cannot beat them, do what?
Kill them.
You say kill them? They are saying that God, if you can't beat them, join them. Okay? So some people are like, okay, let's say Baraka, somebody comes and takes your desk. And you go like, okay, this boy is very big. For example, let's give an example of dog is coming to take your desk. Okay? You see he's bigger than you. Will you start fighting him? Will you start fighting him? Maybe you just surrender and say, okay, don't you want my desk? Just take it. So even the Africans, when they realize they cannot fight the Europeans, what do? They joined them. They started what we call collaboration. They started what we call collaboration. So they just joined them. And we have so many groups of those who joined them. Now, then as we continue with the next lesson, we shall be seeing who are these who resisted, who are these who collaborated, and what made them to collaborate, because you cannot just collaborate with somebody just like that. Okay? Why is it that instead of resisting, they collaborated? Maybe they were happy with what the Europeans were doing. These ones who are resisting, they were angry. And we are going to see at the end of the day what made them to be angry in such a way that they can do what? They can resist. We are also going to see what made them so happy in a way that they collaborated with them. Is that okay? Now, so we have today learned about the Scramble of Africa. So what is Scramble of Africa?
The struggle to
Hey, where you lift up your hands. You have not talked from the beginning. Damaris, what is the Scramble of Africa? What is to scramble? You are struggling or you are fighting to get something. Now, we have talked of people who came to Africa. Who are these people? The Europeans. Why do you think we have said, why did they come to Africa? One reason, somebody? Yes, Campbell? For raw materials, very good. Sharon? Pardon? For fertile soil, for farming, yes, and to spread Christianity. And the last one? Yes, Damaris? Overpopulation. So they wanted to make sure that people they bring some people in Africa so that their places will not be overpopulated. So that marks the end of our lesson today. But I've said in the next lesson we are going to talk about resistance and collaboration. So we will talk about that instead. Enjoy your break. Thank you.